You've been watching this for a while. If not, check out my some of my other videos. I explain a lot more what I call myself and hopefully you guys giant hunters of exiles. Oh, let me hook up the microphone. I had some problems with the audio last week. I think I got that all fixed. Had a bag cable. All right. So, start out with our live stream review. Check the temperature of the compost here. This fast compost that we're not turning as off as we should. We're right around 110 degrees. Right where we want to be. Throw this in the other two piles. Let's start out with, let's go with the next pile here. And that next pile, I should have moved the camera first. That next pile is this plastic thing. I got a video coming out once I get off my butt and do it. But that's a slow compost pile. Hopefully it'll be done probably in 2 years. It'll be completely done, ready to go. Normally one like that only takes about a year. So maybe a year, which will be the end of next year, which means we won't be able to really use it for 2 years. And this one back here that has the grapevine growing all over it, that's another one. That one's a homemade one, so this plastic one. It's a lot more expensive, but twice as big. Don't think it's worth it to make it myself when the plastic one's 20 bucks. But anyway, this guy over here, so hard to point on camera. It's another slow one. It should be ready next spring. Anyway. Oh, hold on. That's probably changed its temperature. So, last week we talked about, yep, it did change temperatures. This one's down to 90 degrees. That's fine, that's good. That's hotter than it needs to be because it's not finished yet. Alright, last week we talked about what to do if you're sick and some prep for being sick. And said we're going to discuss for this week's topic what to do to prevent assault, basically like assault preparedness. So first, the reason I'm bringing this up is because a girl I used to work with put on Facebook that some creepazoid was on her front porch when she went outside to put out her cloth diapers to dry. More plastic. Those gnomes putting plastic in my compost. So, the first thing to do to prevent assault is to pay attention to what you're doing. Keep your head on a swivel when you're out in public or even out in your backyard. Pay attention to what's going on around you. Now, if I'm at Walmart or something like that, I'll have one earbud in oftentimes. If I'm in my own backyard, I'll probably have two earbuds in. Unless I'm hanging out with Sarah or the kids or something. Just face it, not likely to get assaulted in my own backyard. Where I live, if you live in someplace where you are, you should probably move. Which is another good way to prevent assault. Don't live in places with crazy people. I know there's crazy people everywhere, but try not to live in high crime areas. And sometimes that means a high neighborhood. Sometimes that means entire high crime city. Like I just heard Andy Ngo sued the people in Portland that are mostly responsible for his assault that nearly killed him. The lawyer for the other people that he was suing threatened the audience, or threatened the jurors, and the judge didn't do anything about it. So, don't live in Seattle. Don't live in crazy places. Don't go. Another good one to help you prevent assault is don't go to stupid places with stupid people and do stupid things. I wouldn't recommend doing any of those three, but definitely don't do all three of those together. But yeah, keep your situational awareness around you while you're going to the gas, getting gas, anything out in public. So, girl I used to work with, what most of the comments are for her is stuff like, oh, you should carry pepper spray, which pepper spray is not a bad idea. I should start carrying pepper spray again. I used to, but I lost the little clip I had for my belt. So I really need to get another one of those so I can carry pepper spray again. Because that gives you a variety of options. You can use pepper spray when you don't really want to hurt the person. Or like if it's dogs fighting or a dog attack, pepper spray a lot of times is a good option. A lot of people were telling her also, oh, you should have a baseball bat. Baseball bat will really protect you well. Well, there's two things. Well, there's several things wrong with that. One, she's not very big. If you're not a big person and you can't really get a good swing on that bat, you're not going to hurt the guy. You're just going to make him mad. He's going to take it from you and use it against you. Also, if the guy's too far away for a baseball bat, like you gotta get closer to him. Or if they're too close, you'll hit them. You won't be able to, and you'll hit them with the middle of the bat instead of the business end. That's no good either. And bats rely on the strength of the operator. Like I said, if they're not a good option, if that's all you got, use it, but come up with a better plan and better options than that. So, they also said, oh, carry a knife. Well, first off, again, I shouldn't say first off, but there's a lot of problems with the bat. Again, you gotta get right on top of the person. Or one of the problems with the knife, you gotta be right on top of them. It has no range at all. So, you can't use it to defend yourself. Unless the attack is right on top of you, which is really late then. You wanna be able to project it away from you. Be able to scare them, to keep them away so they can't get close enough to make contact with you. Also, knives are hard to use. They don't typically stop a fight immediately. The guy may even die from his wounds, but not likely to stop immediately. Especially when you get the adrenaline pumping. And also relies on the strength of the user. And something I didn't mention with the baseball bat, but it's also true with that and a knife, is not good with multiple attackers. Now, if you're walking into Walmart, it's a little bit easier to conceal a knife in your pocket. Baseball bat, you ain't walking around in Walmart. She's not going to walk around Walmart with a baseball bat in one hand and her toddler in the other and go grocery shopping. So a good all-around, probably your best option you can get for self-defense is one of these fancy airsoft. Carry it with you everywhere you go. And airsoft airsoft for the YouTube algorithms. Because if you mention firearms, they get mad. So it's definitely airsoft, if you get my drift. Anywho, airsoft, also, with your airsoft weapon, your airsoft device, it's also a good idea to get training. I don't even know what that is. Sorry about that. But not just training on how to use it, but first aid training, in case you use it. If you're using it, chances are somebody's hurt, not just the bad guy. Maybe you, maybe an innocent bystander, who knows. Also, training on how to deploy it correctly, when it's lawful to deploy it, and also something I need to do. It's a good idea to also get trained on some more like hand-to-hand combat, mixed martial arts, karate, those kind of things. Because they not only do they make you more situationally aware, but they also help you carry yourself with more confidence. And predators, whether they be a lion on the Serengeti or a hooligan at Walmart in the Walmart parking lot looking to mug you, they usually look for the weakest in the herd. So you don't want to be the weakest. You want to look like you're confident and know what you're doing. All right. So that's probably enough about that. Probably wouldn't too long on that subject. Yeah, we're 12 minutes in, and that's longer than I wanted to spend on that topic. But I'm going to discuss what needs to be discussed and for how long it needs to be discussed. I don't want to touch that. That's poison ivy. Leaves that got sucked into the compost somewhere. Anyway, compost. Next week, we'll be discussing what to do if you become severely injured. So some like basic first aid. And I won't be showing it. I'll be walking through it, explaining some of it, and how to prevent those injuries. But the main topic today I want to talk about is getting started in prepping. Being more prepared. It may seem like it's going to be really hard. I found a chunk of metal this time. Really hard to get started in preparedness. Well, Rome wasn't built in a day. What I recommend doing is sitting down and figuring out what you need to prepare for. And figure out logical steps for it. So things most likely to hurt you are the kind of the stuff we're going through in the list at the beginning. Losing your job, getting assaulted, your spouse being sick and you gotta take them to the hospital, and your kids gotta go to the grandma's house, flat tire, those kind of things are much more likely to happen than an earthquake to happen during a tornado right after an avalanche while a meteor hits the ground when the supervolcano explodes. You're much more likely to get a flat tire on the way to work. On my website, johnmagnus.com, I have a list of, if you go to johnmagnus.com/list, or levels, you'll find my levels of preparedness document, which I made for my group, which they're not going through it very well. It's disappointing. Anyway, that group, or those levels, are designed to be logical and reasonable preparedness steps. Adjust them how you see fit. But they start out with simple stuff. Like your simple thing. Make a diet plan. Make a spending plan. Make your water storage plan. Do a threat assessment. That's figuring out which of those mundane, flat tire, losing a job things are most likely to occur in your life. And I don't have them all memorized, but basically, the first step is to make a plan. The second step is to start exercising, start eating better, start spending money according to your spending plan. Implement part of your food storage plan. Implement part of your water storage plan. Now for some basic ideas for food storage is sit down, put a piece of paper, or don't sit down, put a piece of paper next to your stove, on the kitchen counter, on the kitchen table, something like that. And have everybody in your family, every time they eat something, write it down. Do that for as long as you can get participation for. And then look through that list, see what you can buy that stores well. And then then when you go grocery shopping, buy an extra can of green beans this time. Buy an extra can of corn. Especially if you notice that you really like whole new potatoes in a can. These things are delicious. Put a little bit of butter, like rosemary or thyme or something like that in with the pot when you heat them up. Oh, delicious. Anyway, let's say you eat a lot of whole new potatoes and they're on sale. Well, buy even more extra. And then keep building up that extra in a deep pantry. Another method is what me and Sarah did. Basically, we took all the canned goods and pastas and spaghetti sauce. Well, we make our own spaghetti sauce. But any of those things that store on a counter or on a shelf, and we made in our pantry a shelf for each, or a spot on the shelf for each one of those items. And then what we do before we go grocery shopping is we just see anything we're low on and replace it or buy more. And then add a little bit extra. And now we're getting to the point where we check the refrigerator, the freezer above the refrigerator, and the deep freeze, the pantry, the spice rack, the spice storage area, and here soon we're going to be adding the next layer of stuff, which is extra flour and stuff stored underneath the bed. And then also I'm trying to put a group buy together right now to get, this is something else you can do as you start storing more and more food, is we're going to get a group buy together and start storing, or see if we can buy, what are they, potato flakes. And we want to put together a group buy at least every quarter and buy bags of potato flakes. Buy a few 100 pounds of corn. A skid of rice, stuff like that. And that's another reason why preparedness groups are important, is because that's a good place to do those group buys. Getting my preparedness group together to do things like that is a pain in the butt. That's why I'm constantly looking for new members for my preparedness group. So water storage. I have these water jugs. You wait right here. I'll go get one. All right, I'm back. Compost pile got turned pretty quick this time. I think it's because it's getting a lot smaller. Some of that's because the compost spread out here, killing the grass and weeds, which is what it should be doing. Probably come out here tomorrow, some other time in the near future with a flame weeder, and knock some of that back too. Apparently, flame weeders are a really good way of killing non-native grasses. That guy that does the YouTube video shorts mostly, I think, who's from Georgia, that does all the wildlife restoration, wild habitat restoration, he says flame weeding. So what I'll probably do is come and use the hoe to remove a bunch of grass all around this area, and use a flame weeder to kill it. But anyway, what I walked away to do, let's go get this water jug, which is leaking. Well, that's something I need to investigate. All right, anyway. There we go. Anyway, we got these off of Amazon. They're aqua bricks. What we need to do is start buying one of these a month. They hold 3 gallons. I keep about 2.5 gallons in there, but we only have 2. We really need to get a lot more of these and put them in the crawl space and have a designated spot in the crawl space. They stack up like Legos, so that should help with that. Also, tea bottles that are half gallon. We keep a lot of water in that. That's not the best water. Tastes pretty nasty and plasticky after a while, but it's good for cleaning. It's good for flushing the toilets. If you're really thirsty, it's better than nothing. That's water you can hand out to people and keep this better water handy. The reason I don't fill them all the way up is in case they do freeze, because I usually have to store them in an unheated area. Like I said, we're gonna put them in the crawl space. I don't think they'll freeze down there, but I still don't want to fill them up all the way, because if they do freeze and bust, then they'll be empty. And on top of that, not only will they be empty, but it'll destroy these things. So, the tea bottles, 2-liter Mountain Dew bottles, I don't think you should be drinking that crap, but somebody at work or one of your friends or some relative does that. So, that'll help you with your water storage. And start off slow with everything. Don't be like, oh, I gotta jump in 2 feet. Notice I didn't even mention a bug out bag and bug out vehicle and off-road 4x4 pickup truck, I didn't even mention buying guns as part of preparedness. Yeah, you should do all that stuff, but later on down the road. Maybe not the cool 4x4. Depends on if that fits your needs. But start off slow, make a plan, and then figure out how you're going to execute that plan in slow steps. Something that one of the things I mentioned, exercise plan, diet plan. I really need to work on that. I'm starting to look pregnant. That's got to be fixed. So I'm working on, if you've heard of the 75 hard challenge, and there's also the 75 soft challenge me and Sarah started, but it didn't quite fit our lifestyle. We're making our own 75 day challenge. It involves like reading, writing, exercise, eating healthy, reading the Bible, writing in a blessings journal, doing self-assessments, those kind of things. Doing things that are intentionally going out and doing things that are hard. And hopefully be doing a video about that in the next few weeks. I'm basically just buttoning up how to making printable documents for you guys to be able to help track it. And also I have a Telegram. I need to post about the Telegram and get people on there and start using that Telegram channel and getting people to use that. And I think that we can use that as a community so we can all talk together. Maybe it's a Telegram group. Anyway, so we can all talk to each other or together on Telegram and hold each other accountable. Me hold you accountable, you hold me accountable, we hold everybody, because that's one of the things is checking every day with a group that'll hold you accountable. And I'd really like for people to actually have a group that are holding each other accountable, not just posting it on Facebook or Instagram. Now, oh, look, you did a great job of losing weight over the past month. No. Not just take a picture like 75 Hard. Like, really check in, and really help each other. Be like, hey, man, you're doing great. So anyway, look forward to that in the near future. And that's pretty much all I have. This one, I guess, will be short. We're at 26 minutes. Oh, I was going to I forgot about the Bible study at the end. I had a topic in mind and forgot it. Well, I don't like that. I'm not going to end it with a Bible study. That's what happens. I had it planned out, forgot it, getting old. But part of the 75 challenge that I'm putting together will be 15 minutes of Bible reading. I want to put together a plan to cover big stories of the Bible in 15-minute chunks over the course of 75 days. I got to do that. I'm not sure how to do that yet. So I'll be working on that before I get the challenge up. So that's all I got. I'm going to go inside, spend time with Sarah and the kids, and work on my communion meditation. But my little 5-minute or less before we do communion at church next Sunday. It's my turn, and I know basically what I want to do. I just got to write it out. Actually, I'll talk about that. That's a good topic to talk about real quick. So, I teach the Bible on here, talk about the Bible at church. Like I said, I talk before communion in front of the church. So, if you're teaching the Bible, it's in James, maybe John. Pretty sure it's James. Anyway, not like 1st or 2nd John, or James, one of those three. Anyway, it says that you shouldn't take the job of teaching lightly and teaching God's word lightly. In the past, doing the communion stuff, I have taken that way too lightly and not been as prepared as I should be. I'm working on that, and I apologize if people went to church when I wasn't taking that more seriously. When I'm starting a series on talking this Sunday, I'm going to start with actually this topic of taking the Bible, me teaching the Bible more seriously. But I feel like God's been really teaching me some stuff, prompting me to learn some things, and I'm going to start teaching my church about some of the evils that are going on in the world right now, and how the United States is falling away from its Christian roots. Like when Obama said we're not a Christian nation, he meant that we were never founded as a Christian nation. But he is right. We are no longer a Christian nation. And so the people that were here before the Christians showed up, worshipped all kinds of false gods. And Christians showed up, helped teach them the truth. And in some cases, some horrible people that were doing awful things that were already here, like cannibalism, slavery, ritualized sexual practices, those kind of some nasty stuff they were doing. Those Christians pushed it out of the area. Yes, some Europeans that called themselves Christians did come in and bring some nasty stuff with them. There's a difference between people who call themselves Christians and people who actually practice what they preach. That's another topic. But anyway, Jesus said that if you take someone and a demon gets cast out of him, if he doesn't stay with God, then after that demon comes, the demon will come back later to check on him, and it'll find that his house is swept clean, that he's living a good life, but he hasn't filled himself with God. That, yeah, he's no longer evil, but he's not good. There's a difference between being good and being not evil. And that demon will go get 7 demons worse than him and bring them to that man to torment him even more. And I have reason to believe, and we can get into this in other studies, that the United States is heading that way. We were a really strong Christian nation. Yes, we had problems. We had problems from the beginning. We will always have problems. People aren't perfect. People do not... No Christian lives up to the standards of God, but some don't even try. But I'm talking about the Christians that try. They try to live up to the standards of God, but they fail, and they allow evil still to happen. Yes, that sucks. Like slavery that's happening in the United States, the current sex slave trade, all those things. But anyway, what I'm getting at is we're getting more and more of these demons possessing the United States. And if you don't believe me, look around. 10 years ago, 5 years ago even, would you be saying some of the stuff that, if I told you that it was mainstream news and people get mad at you if you said that men can't have babies? 10 years ago, that was unthinkable. 10 years ago, what's being taught in some libraries and schools where they're allowing sexually graphic things or worse. Like a teacher was just recently caught giving a book to students that taught them how to find anonymous adults to have sex with. If you don't think this kind of stuff, if you thought 10 years ago, like, no, that stuff that it's not gonna happen, that you're crazy. And look around today. And there's all kinds of evils going on that we're just sweeping under the rug, and basically we're ignoring as a culture. And I'm going to start teaching at church how we can recognize that and how we can fight against that. But we don't fight against that physically. Basically, I'll summarize it here. The war is a spiritual war, and it's over spirits. Satan and his demons want people to go to hell. They can't defeat God. They can't kill God. They know that. But they know they can attack what's precious to him and take that away from him. So the way we fight against the demons and against Satan and against evil is by bringing those people closer to God and introducing them to Jesus. That's how we do it. And I'll be going through a lot of this stuff in the live streams. I'll try to come up with quick, simple ways of putting it, because I was going to quit and I just rambled on for quite a while about this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of this. I hope any of the 3 topics I touched on were very helpful. And I hope you appreciate that I'm trying to take the Bible study stuff seriously. And if you were one of the people that I talked to about the Bible stuff and were going to church with me when I didn't take the communion meditation seriously, I deeply apologize. Like, I shouldn't have done that. And I'm trying a lot harder to be much better at that. So that's all I got for today, for this week. Hope you join me again next week when we do this. When it gets winter, I'm not sure what we're going to do with the compost pile. Oh, and real quick, happier note. Me and Sarah bought the stuff to upgrade the quail tractor. Make one that'll be more easily moved, more easily, less wobbly, and more critter-proof in the winter. Or more wind-proof in the winter. To block out snow and wind for them. And then getting more quail soon. But anyway, we're going to be working on that this weekend. Hopefully we can find time. Anyway, so like and subscribe to get that. Well, subscribe so you can see that video when it comes out. Anyway, that's all I have. So remember, we, his people, will start rebuilding.